Hey guys, this is Vera and the channel Rise Up Evolution. In this video, I'd like to share 4 tips how to maintain a healthy vegan diet. Just a little bit of a story about me. I have been vegan for about 6.5 years, and I don't think I ever had a moment when I regretted this decision. Neither I ever had a moment when I thought I'm missing anything or I'm restricting myself from something or whatsoever. So, my first tip, please do not think about it as of any sort of deficiency diet or anything where you have to compromise things or something or whatever. And I think the first point is about your mindset a lot. It's to not think that vegan diet is any sort of a compromise or that you have to give up something, give up your friends or whatever. It's a fulfilling lifestyle. And it's a fulfilling lifestyle where you can get a lot of nutrients, there's a lot of diversity. It's very affordable, but it can also be fancy if you want to. And you don't have to compromise it. And it goes as a bonus without the need of killing the live beings. Doesn't it sound like a perfect plan? I do understand that when I went vegan, I do think that I had a number of negative beliefs. Most of them were regarding the looks, about the hair, about how I'm going to look. Of course, you hear that protein comes from animal sources only. So, and this is all about mindset. So you're also able to remove this kind of programming, because if you try to remember where you get this sort of information, most likely you didn't get it from your inner knowledge. It's much more likely that you got it from your school book, or you got it from parents' conversations, or you got it from a news where there was a person, he was a doctor and then he was saying it, and then you take, okay, if a doctor says this, that's probably you have to eat a lot of meat or fish or whatever. So what I'm trying to explain here is that the so-called socially accepted or authoritative figures in your life might have influenced your opinion about plant-based nutrition and the absence of animal products in it. So, and this could lead to certain mental blocks which prevent you from seeing it as a healthy lifestyle. And I do understand it. My best recommendation here would be just to do your own research. Because, first of all, there's a lot of information and a lot of healthy examples of people. I personally know people who look good, they don't have to be skinny even all the time. I am slim, I'm skinny, but I also know vegans who are not. I also know vegans who are not doing healthy vegan lifestyle. I also know non-vegan people who are not doing healthy lifestyle. So it's all about your choice. I also know families who raise up their kids, and both parents and the kids are vegans. So I know that it's possible. It's just not a very social accepted norm yet, and that's about it. So my suggestion would be just to do your own research in a way, because if you try to Google it, is vegan diet good or not, you will probably come across different kinds of opinions. So my suggestion would be try to find the direct information, like, well, for example, what are the best plant sourced proteins, what is the best way to drink a lot of iron if you're vegan, right, like through juices or something. So try to find your answers on the questions by looking directly at this problem. I had similar issue when I went vegan. I was really back then into different kind of cosmetic products, and I was like, okay, actually I didn't realize that a lot of cosmetic products back then had a lot of animal ingredients in it. So, and 6 7 years ago it wasn't super mainstream yet, so I just had to make my own research and understand that actually in lipsticks as well as in ketchup they may have carmine, which is basically a sort of a powder of the beets. So it doesn't sound any kind of attractive to me, and I just didn't realize it. So make your own research. And the most important point of my number one tip is just to understand that the healthy lifestyle is possible if you're vegan, and vegan lifestyle is a healthy and fulfilling lifestyle. Nowadays there are a lot of restaurants, a lot of places you go, even if they're not vegan. Like, I don't think I barely had any problem when I was going to a non-vegan restaurant and they just said, okay, we don't have anything. They would have a salad or something. Yeah, of course it's better if you go to a more plant-based oriented place, but like I don't mind. Like I just find my way all the time, and it like the universe helps me. Number two would be nourish yourself. And I think that's very, very, very important. I think a lot of people they are considering veganism for a number of reasons. That can be a mercy for animals, that could be health reasons or whatsoever. I think it's very important to understand that since vegan lifestyle is not a source of restrictive diet or deficiency, I think it's very important to be aware of what you're eating. You can have amazing broad number of different nutrients throughout the day, or you can also go to fast food, and these choices would affect how you feel as well. Obviously, if you're having fast food from time to time as a vegan, I'm talking about vegan burgers, processed food, or French fries or whatever, you won't be like pretty much affected, I think. But I think if you're taking it as a long-term nutrition to save time, maybe money or whatsoever, I don't think it's a very sufficient idea. Nature has to offer us so many varieties of plant nutrients in terms of minerals, vitamins, and so ever. So it is so rich, and I think we should make the most of it, especially nowadays when you can order pretty much everything online through marketplaces, even if you're living in pretty remote areas. So it is definitely possible, but I think my number two tip is to make sure that you are nourishing yourself. Like the foods like pasta, burgers, like all these foods which are full of carbs. They are definitely fulfilling in the way that they make you feel full, but their intrinsic value may be pretty low, if you understand what I mean. So I think it's important to switch from like the understanding I want to get full to the concept of I want to be nourished. And with that, you can use your intuition, you can use your body intelligence, because our body is super intelligent. I believe we have a certain ability to also know what we should eat at this time, because our intuition can tell us like that this is something what I want to eat today or something. And you can practice this as an intention before you enter a supermarket, or if you want to order something in the restaurant, or if you're about to cook something at home. You can just ask yourself a question: what does my body like, what is my intrinsic intrinsic, my body elemental wants at this point of time, that I do not, or like over how do I say it in English, that I do not overeat, that I do not disrupt my metabolism, that I do not overconsume something, that's something which is good for me, for my body. And this is a very thin border between knowing your intrinsic elemental and having a craving. Having a craving is an emotional urge to fill up with something, especially when you are experiencing some sort of stress, or if you're trying to avoid something, procrastinate, and blah blah blah. So this will be emotional eating, and this is not the same as the inner knowing of what you want to eat. That's a very big difference. So you can also observe what are the moments when you want to eat a certain plant-based food. It doesn't have to be like 100% healthy all the time, right? But I think it's important to listen to your body and let it tell you what it wants. The third tip is would be find your best source of plant protein. Me, as I have been vegan for 7 years almost, I have also experimented with certain practices such as fasting, eating fruits only, or being raw vegan. And so for me, I just find my own balance, what fits best for me. And since I also I like to work out, and I think it's better for me to be like more muscle oriented. So I think for me, having a good source of plant protein was a very good solution, because I didn't really think about it very much, especially maybe as a girl. But I do realize that once I have my protein, I also feel good. I feel better. And since I'm living most of the time in Asia at this moment, they have a lot of products with tofu, with seitan, and stuff like that. But to be honest, these are just not the foods which I like to eat very much. I can have it, like if I want to, but it's not that I'm like adoring it. And one of my recent discoveries, it was the hummus, the chickpea, and whatever is made from chickpeas. And I find it such an amazing thing which exists on the planet, because you can make a lot of things out of it. It's also very simple. If you want to make it at home, it's also very, very affordable. I can eat hummus like almost every day, and I will double check after I make this video, but I think I've read it that if you combine hummus with a bread, you will have a complete protein. And I think it's very important because not all plant proteins, they have the complete amino acid number which are needed for the human body. So I find it very, very cool to have chickpeas in my diet. I try to eat it every day. It's also very, very nourishing, very, very fulfilling. I have also discovered the lentils, the mung beans, which you do not have to soak, and these are very simple, easy to make vegan dishes that you can have, which is very popular in Indian cuisine. I just boil it and put certain spices and put some tomatoes, and it feels so good, so nourishing. I just feel like, oh, my body is just like so happy when I have this kind of things. Of course, I'm also eating a lot of I like to drink juices. I like to have salads, but I just realized that when I have this source of, okay, I know what I like, and I know that that's something that easy to find. Also, if I want to make it at home, it's okay. So I think this is my balance which I find around it, just to have a good source of protein. You can find your own, because protein, you can find it in the mushrooms, in tofu, in tempeh, in quinoa, in seitan, in soya, and so many other things, right? So just try to find what fits you the best, because our bodies are different. I just found my way, and I'm happy to share it. I hope this tip somewhat helped you, and let me know if you have any questions and comments. And bye bye.